Hello and welcome to the Otherworlders entry-level IRC training. My name is Jeremy and I'm known on IRC as Alt Reality. I've been an IRC user for over 15 years on various networks, and I've been an operator on Otherworlders for the last 5 years. You can check out our website at www.otherworlders.org. So the purpose for this training is to try to familiarize you with what IRC is and to get you up and chatting. In the future, we're going to be having some in-chat training sessions to take your skills even further, hopefully preparing you for channel operator status or maybe even becoming an IRC operator. So first off, I just want to get a little bit of terminology out of the way here. IRC stands for Internet Relay Chat. It's one of the oldest internet applications created in 1988. It was created before the World Wide Web. It's a system that allows multiple people to connect to a server, join chat rooms called channels, and then you can send and receive messages with each other and just have a good time chatting. A server is where the chat rooms are all located, and there's hundreds of servers out there, and you can access any of them and join any channels, and you can create your own channels. And our server is actually called irc.otherworlders.org, and that's the one we're going to connect to for our training today. A network is when you have a whole bunch of servers that are all linked together, and this helps people so that you can connect to a server that's closer to you, so your connection is faster, and it decreases lag. Lag is when you send a message to the network and it winds up taking 5, 10, 15 seconds for it to show up on the other end. So a net split is when 2 or more servers lose their connection. And when this happens, you'll see a big group of people suddenly leave all at the same time, and it looks like they've all just bailed on you, but really it's just that the server's disconnected. Usually if you give them a few minutes, then they'll join back together. IRC clients. The client is the program that you install on your computer, and it lets you connect to an IRC server. Some example IRC clients are iChat or IRCLE for Macintosh systems, XChat, IRCII or IRSSI. Windows, you've got XChat, you've got mIRC, which is the one we're going to be using today for training. If you can run Firefox on your computer, then there's a plugin called Chatzilla, and that works pretty well to get you into some chat servers. And lastly, there's all kinds of websites out there that have a little Java chat application, or they have like a little link that says, click here to chat now. And those are all basically just web-based chat applications. They connect you to an IRC server, and you can chat through those. Once you get connected, a channel is also a chat room, is what some people call them. Every different server that you connect to is going to have a different list of channels. All channels start with a pound sign, like pound training is the channel that we're going to be working in later. Whenever I refer to a user, I'm talking about you, an average person, no special rights on the server. An operator or a channel op is an administrator of a certain channel. They've usually only got rights to that one channel, and again, it's only on one server. When a channel is created, the first person that joins that channel will get the operator rights, and then they have the ability to give other people ops if they want it as well. And you'll see they're noted with a little @ symbol right next to their name. They can set the channel modes, they can set the channel topic, they can kick and ban people, or just generally control what happens in the channel. And lastly, we've got the IRC op, otherwise known as an opper, and they're server administrators, and they have the ability to kick and ban people from the server. They can do all kinds of work on the server itself, and typically try to stay out of channel business. If there's somebody who's being a jerk in a channel, well, as long as they're not breaking any of the server rules, then it's up to a channel operator to take care of that. An IRC operator deals with more of the high-level stuff. If there's a flood, if 100 people all suddenly join and start sending random garbage messages, that's called a flood, and we have the ability to try to kick all those people off and try to clean everything up. So, like I mentioned, we're going to work with mIRC as our IRC client today. Here's the website. They just released a brand new version just a couple of days ago, so we're going to go ahead and use it to do our training. So you'll want to go to www.mirc.com and click the Download mIRC link. Now, I've already downloaded it here, so we don't need to do it again. mIRC is by far the most popular client out there for Windows. It's small, it's highly customizable, has a scripting language that you can use to create all sorts of custom commands and scripts to do all sorts of tasks. You can download the 30-day trial from the website. It still works past the 30 days, but you just have a little nag screen. Registration is $20, and it's well worth it if you're going to be a channel operator or if you chat regularly. Most of the commands that we're going to cover today are actually basic IRC commands, and they work with any of the clients out there, but I'll try to differentiate when one is only for mIRC and when it's for everything else as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and try to do some installation here. We'll double click on the icon. It's going to run through some setup information here, and we want to read over the license agreement and agree to it. Select a folder to install to, and then if this is the first time you're installing mIRC, you can just go ahead and leave everything checked. That should be good. Next, and select the name, that's fine, and everything there should be good. Install, and we're done. And I'm going to go ahead and select to run mIRC. I'll make a note about the help file here. The help file for mIRC is very good. It's been maintained for each of the different versions, and you can use it to learn about all the scripting commands. And let's see, we'll go ahead and finish that, and it should launch. Here it is. Okay, so this is the first screen that you come up with, and it's telling us that we haven't registered, so I'm going to go ahead and continue. We don't want to register quite yet. Continue. Okay, and here come some options. This is where it starts to get a little bit difficult, but once you fill it out, you usually don't need to change anything really. So here for the full name, I recommend that you don't really use your real name. You can use your first name, but don't use a real email address. And nickname, this is important. This is going to be what you're called while you're connected to the server. Now you can change that at any time, so it's not a big deal, but I'm going to use alt reality, and then my alternate. We're going to go into servers. Now mIRC comes with a huge list of servers. So we're in the IRC options, and we're just going to go to Otherworlders here, and if you take a look in here, we got a random server, but if we edit it, it's irc.otherworlders.org. That's exactly what we want to try to connect to. So we will select that one, and now it says connecting to Otherworlders random server, but there's only one server that lists there, so that's good. Now let's go through a couple other options. Do we want it to connect to the server on startup? I like it too, because I always use the same server. If we get disconnected, it'll reconnect. I don't like it to pop up the connect dialog when we start up. So the rest of these icons are going to be just fine. If we go into display options, I like to turn off this line marker. I don't like it very much. And I think we should be alright. So if we hit OK, I'm going to maximize the window so we can kind of see what's going on. And I like to turn off the tree bar. I'm not a big fan of the tree bar. We can get this straightened out here, and here's a fancy thing is that you can go in here. This is any of the windows inside mIRC. You can click on this little icon here and choose position, save, and then when you restart the program, it'll come back to that same position it was in before. Another thing that I like to do here is change some colors. I like the background color to be a gray. These ones as well, just because it's a little bit easier on the eyes, I think. And I also like to change my own text to this red color. You don't have to, but it's up to you. Then we hit OK there, and alright. So we're ready to make our connection to the network. Alright, so there's two ways to connect to a server when you're working in IRC. With mIRC specifically, a couple of different ways that you can connect to a server once you've got the program up and running. For one, if you just go into the options window here, and we're on the connect tab, and we've got Otherworlders set as our server. We just hit the connect button, and a whole bunch of stuff runs by, and there we go. Now ordinarily when you connect to a server, you get this little window here, the favorites window. Personally, I don't like to use it because it is kind of guessing that these channels are going to be on any server that you connect to, and it's just simply not the case. Most of these channels do not exist on most of the servers out there. So I disable them by unchecking these two boxes here. You hit OK, and now we're actually connected to the server.